Hey Abecedarians, I'm going to give a quick review of week 15 new grammar. So for math, we're doing metric measurements, and it's going to be to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle Little Star. So 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. These are your metric measurements. Millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. And I'm going to bring a ruler to class, and we are going to talk about, we're going to look at each of these things. So these really, really, really small little lines are millimeters. And then where you see the 1 right there, that is 1 centimeter. And about 2 of these long rulers equals 1 meter. And 1,000 meters. So 2,000 of these equals 1 kilometer. Okay, and then for Latin, we're going to continue doing the song as a group and community. There are some hand motions that we've kind of learned along the way. So omnia is all, and for all we did this. So like all. And by, we did like this, and that was at the very beginning. But all of the pieces of this verse we've learned before. So like even ipsum, I don't know if you remember, that was one of the first weeks, but it was Latin pronouns. Hoc this, hoc same, ipso, ipsum him, cui, whose, quod, that. So that one, ipsum, means him. So you can do the hand motions to the song if you'd like, but again, as a group, we're just doing the song. So I think that tune is something like omnia per ipsum facta sunt. Okay, what are some parts of the atom? So I have hand motions. They're a little bit complex, so if you don't want to use those, that's fine. I also made a model of an atom so we could talk about it in class because this is like very complex. I'm finding it very hard to explain. So what are parts of an atom? Nucleus, protons, electrons, and for quarks, we're going to go like this. Quarks, because there's up quarks and there's down quarks. They're just configured in different ways. And a quark is basically, it's what makes up protons and neutrons. So depending on how many of the ups versus how many of the downs determines whether it's a proton or whether it's a neutron. So we're going to say quarks. And then for leptons, we're going to leap like we leapt. So leptons. Leptons are electrically charged too. They're really hard to explain, but the most common lepton is actually an electron. So an electron is a type of lepton. The other ones aren't so common, but you do see them. So I guess we're just supposed to explain that a lepton or an electron is a type of lepton. Neutrons we're going to go like this, equal sign. So what are some parts of an atom? Nucleus, protons, electrons, quarks, leptons, and we're going to leap, and neutrons. Also, I made this example here. This is the nucleus. The white part is the nucleus. So this is a type of quark, and the blue is a type of quark. I think the red ones are up quarks, and the blue one is a down quark. So some of these have 2 blues and a red. So this one would be a neutron. This one would be a proton. And these are the electrons. And typically they're just kind of flying around the atom really, really fast. And fast. In fact, so fast you can't even see it. And there's so many of them going in all different directions that it actually kind of resembles like a cloud. They make a cloud because of how fast all these electrons are going around the nucleus of an atom. And an electron is negatively charged, and it is a type of lepton. Okay. For English to write, I'm going to just give examples of how to use each of these, and I wrote them on big cards. And so I'm going to say, do you think to make these cards, do you think to write them was very hard? So I'm just going to use examples. So do you think to write this was hard? Or how about, I write. So I'm writing, I write. Okay. Or I could give it to somebody else and I could say he write or he writes. And where do my writes go? It's in here somewhere. So I could say he writes, and so they write. And then, oh, here it is. So writes. I can hand this to somebody else and they could pretend to write. And I could say, look, he writes. And then for wrote, I could say, who wrote this? Do you think it was me? Did I write this? So I wrote it, didn't I? Like it's in the past. I already wrote it. And then I could say, what am I doing right now? And the answer is, I'm writing. And then someone could say, can I help you write that? And I could say, I'm sorry, but it's already been written. It's already done. It's already been written. I'm going to set this up as hopscotch actually too. And so they're going to kind of hop from one word to the next. So they're going to go and they're going to chant as they do it. So it's going to be to write, and they're going to jump on the word to the card to write. And then there's 2 cards for the next one, which is write and writes. And so either leg will go on those words. So write, writes, and then their legs will go back together and they'll be wrote, and then back together, writing, and then written. So it's just going to be kind of like a hopscotch, and they're going to chant as they say the words. Okay, so for timeline, so for Japan's isolation, we're going to go Japan's isolation. And then for Jamestown and Plymouth Colony founded, we're going to go Jamestown and Plymouth Colony founded. And then for Age of Enlightenment, we're going to go like this, like a light bulb is turning on. Age of Enlightenment. And for Hudson's Bay Company, it was all about fur trading. And so we're going to pretend like we're cold, like we need a fur coat. So Hudson's Bay Company. And for First Great Awakening, there's a rooster crow, and we're going to pretend like we're waking up. So First Great Awakening. And for Classical Period of the Arts, we're going to pretend like we're playing the piano because that was a very popular instrument. So Classical Period of the Arts. And for 7 Years' War, we're just going to play war. 7 Years' War. Okay, for history, tell me about the immigrants coming to America. For the first part, we're going to pretend like we're immigrants and that we have like a pole or something on our backs, and we're kind of like marching, like we're going somewhere, like we're going to go find a new place to live. So we're going to do that. And then for America, hand over heart, seeking freedom, like this. And then there's these little cha-chings in there, and for the cha-chings, we're going to go like this, cha-ching. And then the opportunity to increase their personal wealth. All right, so let me play it.
Week 14. Week 14. Tell me about tycoons.
Oh no, this is the wrong one.
Week 15. Tell me about immigrants coming to America. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America, seeking freedom and the opportunity to increase their personal wealth.
From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America, seeking freedom and the opportunity to increase their personal wealth. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America, seeking freedom and the opportunity to increase their personal wealth.
Okay. So then for geography, we're going to point to them as we sing a little tune. It's to the tune of Father Abraham. So it's going to go like this. The United States has 5 Great Lakes. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, and Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. The United States has 5 Great Lakes. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, and Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. And that's it. See you next Monday.